Welcome to our channel, Bravo News. Are they over for good? The truth about Steve Sr. and Galyna's relationship status revealed. The whispers began. The Missouri sky stretched wide and endless over the rolling McBee Ranch, but inside the sprawling farmhouse, silence pressed down like a storm waiting to break. For weeks, fans of McBee Dynasty had been buzzing with rumors. Steve McBee Sr., the patriarch whose rugged charm once anchored the family empire, and Galyna Saltkowska, his glamorous partner who had shaken the ranch's traditions, were rumored to be at odds. The whispers started innocently enough. Galyna spotted at a Nashville lounge without her engagement ring, Steve Sr. photographed attending a cattle auction alone, but soon the speculation took on a life of its own. Had they split for good? In the age of reality television, every movement, every glance, every caption on social media became evidence for the jury of public opinion. Fans dissected Galyna's cryptic Instagram stories, pictures of wine glasses, moody sunsets, quotes about betrayal, and matched them with Steve Sr.'s radio silence. Something was unraveling, and everyone could feel it. But behind the glossy edits of the show and the online frenzy, the truth of their relationship was far more complicated than anyone suspected. The fight that started it all. It was late spring when the first real cracks showed. Steve Sr. had been preparing for the upcoming cattle sale, pouring long hours into logistics, negotiations, and ensuring the McBee name commanded top dollar at the auction. Galyna, meanwhile, was juggling her own ambitions, modeling contracts, influencer partnerships, and whispers of launching her own lifestyle brand. The clash came one night after a family dinner. "You don't even see me anymore," Galyna snapped, her accent thickening as frustration spilled over. "This ranch built everything we have, Galyna. Don't talk about it like it's nothing." "It's always the ranch, the boys, the business. Where do I fit into this?" The words hung heavy between them. For Steve Sr., the ranch wasn't just land and livestock. It was legacy, identity, survival. For Galyna, it felt like a prison, binding her to a life she hadn't fully chosen. The fight ended with slammed doors and restless silence, but the echoes lingered. The sons take sides. As with any McBee conflict, the sons soon found themselves drawn into the storm. Cole, fiercely loyal to his father, dismissed Galyna's grievances. "She knew what she was signing up for," he muttered to a producer during a confessional on the show. "This is who Dad is. He'll never change. And honestly, why should he?" Stephen Jr., however, saw things differently. "Galyna isn't wrong. Dad gets so wrapped up in the ranch, he forgets to live. If she's feeling ignored, that's on him too." The tension between the brothers added gasoline to an already smoldering fire. Every family dinner became a battlefield of subtle digs, shifting alliances, and uncomfortable silences that producers of McBee Dynasty were all too eager to capture. Galyna's escape. By midsummer, Galyna began spending more time away from the ranch. Trips to Nashville became more frequent, and her social media feeds sparkled with glamorous outfits, city lights, and champagne toasts. To outsiders, it looked like freedom. To Steve Sr., it felt like betrayal. "She's chasing something that's not real," he confided to a close friend, caught on a hot mic. "This life here, it's not enough for her anymore." Meanwhile, Galyna's friends whispered a different story. "She just wants to be seen, to be valued. Is that too much to ask?" Rumors swirled that Galyna had been spotted with a Nashville music producer, fueling gossip blogs with speculation. Was she moving on? Or was she simply trying to reclaim herself after years in Steve Sr.'s shadow? The explosive reunion filming. When Bravo cameras rolled for the family reunion special, producers knew they had struck gold. The tension between Steve Sr. and Galyna was palpable. Every word measured, every glance charged with years of love and disappointment. The host leaned in, eyes gleaming with curiosity. "Steve, Galyna, viewers want to know, where do you two stand right now?" Steve Sr. shifted uncomfortably. "We're figuring things out." Galyna's lips curved into a faint, bitter smile. "Figuring things out. That's what we've been doing for years." The room went silent, every family member caught between defending blood ties and acknowledging uncomfortable truths. For the first time, the breakup wasn't just whispered. It was spoken out loud for millions to witness. The letter. Weeks later, Galyna penned a letter that shook the fandom. Posted to her Instagram in elegant cursive, it read, "I gave my heart to a life that didn't always see me. I don't regret it, but I can't keep losing myself to save something that refuses to change. I still love, but love isn't always enough." Fans flooded the comments, torn between sympathy and outrage. Some accused her of being ungrateful, others praised her bravery. Steve Sr. remained silent, a silence that screamed louder than words. But behind closed doors, he read the letter over and over, the words carving into him with brutal clarity. The offer. Just when it seemed the split was final, a shocking twist emerged. A Bravo executive approached both Steve Sr. and Galyna with a proposal, a spin-off focusing on their lives post-split. "It's raw, it's dramatic, and America will eat it up," the executive promised. For Galyna, it was a chance to step out of Steve Sr.'s shadow and carve her own path. For Steve Sr., it was a chance to rewrite the narrative, to show he wasn't the cold rancher fans accused him of being. But agreeing to the project meant continuing their entanglement in the public eye, binding them together long after love had frayed. The midnight call. One night, long after the cameras stopped rolling, Steve Sr. called Galyna. His voice was rough, softened by whiskey and regret. "Do you even remember the good times?" he asked quietly. Galyna paused, tears streaking down her face. "Of course I do, but good memories don't erase the hurt." "Maybe I can change," he whispered. "Maybe you can't." She hung up before he could say more. The midnight call lingered in both their hearts, leaving them haunted by the possibility of what might still be salvaged, or forever lost. The family divided. As rumors of reconciliation swirled, the McBee sons grew restless. Cole openly told friends he wouldn't accept Galyna back, accusing her of using their father for fame. Stephen Jr. countered with equal fire. "She made Dad happy. Come Dan matters more than bloodlines or business." The family divided into camps, with every holiday, every Sunday dinner becoming a silent referendum on the couple's fate. The dynasty itself felt fragile, as though one relationship had the power to unravel everything they had built. The final decision. At last, after months of speculation, Steve Sr. and Galyna sat across from each other at a quiet Nashville cafe. No cameras, no producers, just them. "Are we done?" Steve Sr. asked, his voice trembling. Galyna looked at him, her eyes filled with both love and sorrow. "We're not done, Steve. We'll never be done. But we can't keep pretending we're okay when we're not." She reached for his hand one last time before pulling away. "I need to choose myself this time." And just like that, the truth was revealed. Not in tabloids, not on television, but in a simple exchange between two people who once believed love could conquer everything. Where they stand now. Months later, Steve Sr. focused on the ranch, his sons, and rebuilding his identity outside of Galyna's orbit. Galyna, meanwhile, launched her lifestyle brand, traveling between Nashville and Los Angeles, carving a life of independence. They were not enemies. They were not together. They existed in the complicated space between love and loss, a space where history lingered, but the future demanded different paths. Are they over for good? Perhaps not in their hearts, but in reality, they were finally learning that sometimes the bravest act of love is letting go. The rumors that wouldn't die. The Nashville nightlife had a way of breathing life into rumors. One blurred photo was all it took. Galyna in the corner of a dimly lit bar, leaning close to a man in a leather jacket. The gossip blogs pounced. "Galyna's new man," screamed one headline. "Steve Sr. left behind as Galyna moves on?" Steve Sr. tried to ignore it, but the whispers seeped into his world. Even his ranch hands looked at him differently. their polite silence laced with pity. The betrayal wasn't proven, but in his heart, the damage was done. Cole was furious. "She's making a fool out of you, Dad. Wake up." But Stephen Jr. cautioned, "You don't know the full story. None of us do." The uncertainty tore at Steve Sr., leaving him hollow. Producers pulled the strings. Behind the scenes, Bravo producers were delighted. Ratings soared every time Galyna's Instagram posts sparked controversy, or when Steve Sr. was filmed brooding on the ranch porch with a whiskey glass in hand. One producer confessed during a leaked voicemail, "If they reconcile, great. If they explode, even better. Either way, it's gold." The McBee family wasn't just living their drama, they were trapped inside a machine that magnified every wound for entertainment. Galyna grew